You woke up early today because it was your first day of school. You ate, got dressed, and after a while you went out. At the bus station, you waited for your bus to arrive so you could go to school. 5 minutes later, the bus arrived. You got inside and reached for your wallet so you could pay for the ride. But then you froze. You forgot your wallet. The bus driver looked at you. Bus driver says, "If you can't pay, dear, you have to leave the bus. You can't ride without paying." At that moment, you wanted to get off the bus, but a boy came forward. Someone says, "I will pay for 2 rides." You looked at him. He was so handsome that you almost forgot what to say. You say, "Thank you very much." You looked around for a free seat on the bus and sat down. You think, "Wow, he is so handsome." After a while, you arrived at school. You started looking for your classroom, but while you were searching, you saw a girl and decided to ask her. You say, "Sorry, do you know where classroom A2 is?" Someone says, "Oh, I'm looking for that classroom too." You say, "Oh, really?" Someone says, "Yes, by the way, I'm Lisa. Nice to meet you." You say, "Nice to meet you too. I'm new here." After a while, you and Lisa found the classroom. You say, "Let's sit together." Lisa says, "Okay." You sat down and waited for your teacher to come. Time skip. After a while, your teacher entered the room. Teacher says, "Good morning, guys." You all got up and greeted her. All students say, "Good morning, teacher." You all sat back in your chairs. Teacher says, "I hope we will have a good time at school, and please tell me if you do not understand something. Now, one by one, please introduce yourselves." Time skip. You all introduced yourselves, and the teacher started talking about the school year. While the teacher was talking, someone entered the classroom. Everyone looked at the door. Teacher says, "Good morning." Someone says, "Good morning, teacher. I apologize for being late." Teacher says, "It's okay. Please introduce yourself." He came and stood next to the teacher. Jungkook says, "Hello, everyone. I'm Jungkook." He smiled. Girl 1 says, "He is very handsome." Girl 2 says, "Ah, he is very sweet." Girl 3 says, "I hope he does not have a girlfriend." When you looked at him, you realized who he was. You think, "Ah, this is the guy who paid for me on the bus. I hope he doesn't recognize me." You put your hand on your face so he would not see you. Teacher says, "Okay, you can sit there next to her." Teacher says, "Please raise your hand." You removed your hand from your face and raised it, but your head stayed lowered toward the desk. Jungkook came and sat down next to you. You turned your head toward Lisa, hoping he would not recognize you. But then he started talking. Jungkook says, "Oh, hi there." You turn to him. You say, "Hello? What a coincidence, right?" Jungkook says, "Yes, yes." He smiled. Jungkook says, "Now we will be in the same class, right?" You say, "Yes, we will be." You said it with an annoyed face and turned back to Lisa. Lisa says, "Are you all right?" You say, "Yes, yes. It's just a little hot here." You said it while fanning your face with your hand. At that moment, Jungkook was looking at you. Jungkook Pov. Jungkook says, "Haha, look at her face. She is red like a potato." Jungkook thinks, "So that is her name. Look at her. She is so cute and pretty." End of Jungkook Pov. You think, "Ah, I'm in the same class with him. How?" Lisa says, "Hey, are you okay?" You say, "Yes, yes." Lisa says, "Then why is your face red?" You say, I don't know. Maybe because I'm shy." Lisa says, "Ah, okay, I see." She winked at you. You say, "Aish, this girl." Teacher says, "Okay, today we will finish the class here. You can rest now." The teacher left the classroom while all the students got up and went to the cafeteria to eat. You and Lisa sat down and started eating and talking. Lisa says, "Do you want to go and watch basketball after school? Our school will play today." You say, "Okay." Lisa says, "Yes." She said it happily. After a while, you ate and got up to go back to the classroom, but someone stopped you. Sejong says, Hey, where do you think you are going? She took your hand. Lisa says, Hey, what do you think you are doing? Sejong says, I am doing nothing. I just do not want her to be close to something that is mine. You say, Sorry, but what is yours? Lisa says, I'm sorry, but please speak clearly and let go of her hand. Lisa took your hand away from Sejong. Sejong says, Okay, I will make this clear. Sejong says, Stay away from Jungkook. Lisa says, Sorry, but we will certainly not listen to you. You say, Leave it, Lisa. Let's go. You took Lisa by the hand. Lisa stopped and started talking to Sejong again. Lisa says, But what if we do not stay away from him? She raised her eyebrow. You say, Lisa, please leave her. Let's go. Sejong says, If you do not stay away, something will happen. Lisa says, Peeved, you cannot do anything. Sejong says, I can. She approached Lisa. Lisa says, I know you cannot. Sejong says, I can. Sejong took water and poured it on you. Lisa pushed her away. Lisa says, Are you okay? You say, Yes, let's go. When you started walking, Sejong put her foot next to you. You stumbled and fell. Lisa started arguing with her again because you fell. At that moment, Jungkook came over. He picked you up bridal style because your leg was injured, then took you to the classroom. You were shocked by his move? He sat you on a chair, took the medical supplies, and bandaged your leg because you had a wound. When he finished, he looked at you. Jungkook says, Are you okay? You say, Yes, yes, thank you very much. Jungkook says, If you need something, tell me. I will help you. He smiled at you. Time skip. When your classes were over, you left the classroom to go and watch basketball in the gym. Lisa took you by the hand to help you because your leg was injured and you could not walk properly. Lisa says, Let's sit there. She pointed to the seats. You say, Okay. You sat down and waited for the match to start. Lisa says, Is your leg better? She stroked your back. You say, Yes. Lisa says, Can I ask you something, but tell me honestly? You say, Of course. Lisa says, Do you like Jungkook? You looked at her in surprise. You say, No. You started looking around. Lisa says, Hey, don't lie, I know you like him. She hit you softly on the shoulder. You say, How do you know? Lisa says, Everything is obvious. You say, Huh. You looked at her. Lisa says, Don't look at me like that. I know everything from the beginning. You say, How? Lisa says, Come on, don't talk. Look at your boy now. I brought you here because I knew he would be here. You say, What? Lisa says, Thank me later. She winked. After a while, the match started. Time skip. You say, Lisa, I'm gonna get water. Do you want some too? Lisa says, No thanks. She smiled. You say, Okay. You got up and went to get some water because you were thirsty. While you were walking, a basketball hit you on the head and you fell down. Everyone looked at you. At that moment, Jungkook came and helped you get up. He stroked your head. Jungkook says, Are you okay? You looked into his shining eyes. He did not take his eyes off you. He looked at you like no one had before. His hand on your hair was so soft that you could not describe it. You say, Yes, I'm fine. You looked into each other's eyes and expressed your love without saying anything. And then, of course, Sejong came and ruined the moment. Sejong says, She's fine. Just pretend she's not here. She raised her eyebrows. Jungkook says, How can you say that? The ball hit her head. Sejong says, And why do you care about her? Jungkook says, Mind your own business. He grabbed your wrist and started walking away. Sejong says, You are mine, and you will not be anyone else's. She said it in a loud voice. You and Jungkook stopped and turned to her. Jungkook says, Please do not act like a child. Sejong says, I'm not acting like a child. She is. She pointed at you. Seong says, first of all, look at her. She is like trash. She looked at you from top to bottom. Jungkook says, be careful how you speak. Seong says, why should I be careful? She is the one who should be careful. You say, let's go, Jungkook. Leave her. Jungkook says, wait, she does not have to talk to you like this. Seong says, haha, look at her. She is so ugly. Jungkook says, I warn you one last time. Seong says, who is she, huh? Jungkook says, do you want to know who she is? Seong says, yes, I want to know. Jungkook says, she is my girlfriend. You looked at Jungkook and heard his words. Seong says, I know you are lying. Jungkook says, I'm not lying. Seong says, do you have proof? She raised her eyebrows and crossed her arms. Jungkook says, yes, I do. Do you want me to show you? Seong says, of course. Jungkook pulled you by your wrist, and with his other hand, he pulled you by the waist to get you closer to him. He looked into your eyes. You were shocked by his action. Then he kissed you. Seong says, Ash. She got annoyed and left with a red face. Jungkook started kissing you very slowly and softly. His lips were like honey. You closed your eyes and kissed him back. You put your hands on his neck and gently stroked his hair. You did not care if anyone saw you or not. After a while, he pulled away and looked into your eyes. Jungkook says, so you love me, huh? He smirked. You say, You tried to avoid the situation and did not answer him. You started looking around. You say, everyone is looking at us. Jungkook says, I don't care. You gently pushed him, but he did not let you go. He was very strong. You say, can you let me go, please? Jungkook says, no, baby, please answer me first. When he called you that, you could not hide it anymore. You say, yes, I love you. Now please let Mun. Before you could say anything else, he kissed you again and did not let you go anywhere. He already wanted only you to be with him. Nothing more.